Welcome to part 8 of me introducing NHL players to new hockey fans. Next on the list is Sergei Fedorov. Sergei Fedorov is from Pskov, Russia. He was drafted by the Detroit Red Wings in the 4th round in 1989. He won 3 Stanley Cups with the Detroit Red Wings. He won 2 Selkes, 1 Hart Trophy, and 1 Ted Lindsay Award. And tonight, his number is being retired forever from the Detroit Red Wings. Sergei Fedorov had an absolutely amazing career and paved the way for the NHL that we have today. Here's the history. In the 1950s, the Detroit Red Wings were an absolute powerhouse. They were unstoppable. And then their reign came to a screeching halt. In the 60s, 70s, and 80s, this franchise was an absolute train wreck. They hit rock bottom. Then in 1982, the Red Wings changed ownership when Mike Ilitch, the owner of Little Caesars Pizza, purchased the franchise. The first task on his list was to hire a general manager. That's when Jim Devellano came into the picture. Jim Devellano had been working with the New York Islanders and had been incredibly successful. Obviously, rebuilding this franchise from the bottom up was going to be a challenge. But Jim had an idea. He didn't know if it would work or not, but he was willing to give it a try. He knew that there were really good hockey players in Russia. He started drafting these Russian hockey players in the 4th round of the draft. You have to remember that all of this is going on during the Cold War. Because the tension was high between the Soviet Union and the United States, he didn't know if these players would ever even touch American soil. The Detroit Red Wings had to jump through a lot of hoops to make it happen, but it did finally happen. The Russian players made it over to the United States, and that was how the Russian Five came to be. The Russian Five was a group of 5 Russian hockey players that breathed life into the Detroit Red Wings again. This group consisted of Sergei Fedorov, Vladimir Konstantinov, Slava Kozlov, Slava Fedosov, and Igor Larionov. This group left a legacy in Detroit that was nothing short of miraculous. Tonight, we get to see one of them honored for that. If you have not had an opportunity to watch the Russian Five documentary on Amazon Prime, you need to move that to the top of your list because it is fascinating how all of that worked. It does involve some heartbreak, so prepare yourself for that. Make sure that you watch the number retirement ceremony tonight for Sergei Fedorov. As always, if you have a favorite player that you want for me to introduce, leave their name in the comments.